Hello, good people. Welcome to another very exciting moment, and an opportunity during which I'm going to share with you some scholarship success secrets. In fact, if you ask me, I would like to call this session a mini master class on how to write a compelling application for scholarship. Put in other words, I'm going to give you 5 steps to crafting a winning application. So in this presentation, I'll provide you a step-by-step guide to help you craft a compelling scholarship application. I am not talking about some theory. It is not going to be some textbook. I'm going to share with you my experiences and the experiences of those other people and what the scholarship admission committees usually look for, as I might have mentioned to you in passing. So this is the most appropriate thing for you to do is to grab a pen, get a piece of paper, but more interestingly, as I've said before, if it were possible, you should have a notebook for this exercise because we will be doing it again and again, and you should keep your notes in one place. So let us start. I maintain my story, and my story is that in this 2025, I want to guide 600 committed individuals on a transformative journey to live with purpose, take action, and turn their dreams into reality. You could be one of them. Are you? And if you're committed, this particular presentation today, if you stay with it and you also send an email or a message, a WhatsApp message to me, I'm going to share with you 2 compelling statement of purpose examples that won wonderful scholarships. That is my promise. But only if at the end you send an email or a WhatsApp message to me. I'm going to share with you my own statement of purpose, one that I wrote in 2005 into graduate school, and one that I wrote in 2022 and got a wonderful scholarship of over 70,000 US dollars. So I'm going to share that with you. I'm sure I wanted you to get some time so that you have a pen and a pencil. Let's start. Now, why are scholarships important? Why are scholarships important? You know, scholarships, a scholarship is financial aid. That's the first thing. That's what it is. A scholarship is financial aid. Scholarships can significantly reduce the financial burden of education, making it more accessible. We ask for scholarship because we don't have the money, right? We don't have the resources. So we want somebody to pay for our education. If we had the money to pay, and of course education is expensive, and I mean damn expensive, everywhere in the world. So it is not only for us Africans. In the United States, people look for scholarships. In Europe, in Canada, everywhere in the world, people look for scholarships because it reduces the burden. Imagine a good graduate education is around 30,000, 40,000, 50,000, 60,000. MBAs in Harvard, some are 120,000. How will you be able to pay for this if you don't have financial aid? The other thing about scholarship is that it's academic recognition. Winning a scholarship is a prestigious recognition of your academic achievements and potentials. I have said this, and I will say it anytime. If you go for an interview, whether it's a job or whatever opportunity, if they discover that somebody, if you show up and you present yourself as somebody who went through a scholarship, that you have had a scholarship before for some reason, whether it's a teaching job in the university, whether it's in a company, when they are reading through your CV and they recognize that you had a scholarship into some program, it gives you an edge over the other candidates. You know why? A scholarship process is competitive. So when you have a scholarship, it is proof that you are committed. That's one thing, because on a serious note, you don't just get up and get a scholarship. You work for it. So people who have scholarship are recognized, and the people look at them with a difference. Do I need to tell you this? Have you not met people when you see people who struggle and somebody told you, I did that program on a scholarship? When somebody tells you that I had a scholarship into this, I had a scholarship to Harvard, I had a scholarship to this, that person stands out. So it's a recognition of your achievement, your academic achievement and potential, and who you are. And it immediately shows that you are outstanding. Okay. Scholarships also provide opportunities for networking. Scholarships often connect you with mentors, alumni, organizations that can support your future endeavors. I don't need to spend too much time on this, but when you go on scholarships, you meet people. When you have scholarship, you meet people. You meet wonderful people. One of my professors who recognized me in the University of New Hampshire in 2009 recommended me for a scholarship in 2019. That is 10 years after. He recommended me for a MasterCard Foundation scholarship. This is a professor that we first met at the University of Southern New Hampshire in 2006, 2009. But 10 years after, he recommended me into another scholarship program, a prestigious MasterCard Foundation scholarship, which I got and went and did it in South Africa. So when you have scholarships, you have opportunities to network, you meet new people and so on. Now, let's dive into the steps of the scholarship process. Step one, in this video, I'm giving you 5 steps. In step 1, you research and identify opportunity. You explore resources. You utilize scholarship databases, university websites, and professional organizations to discover relevant opportunities. I have shared opportunities with you. In some, they're about, I think the other one that I shared out, I was giving 2,377 scholarship opportunities in Germany. I shared out a booklet of over 60 scholarship opportunities to those who I'm already mentoring. All you need to do is you take time, go through those scholarships, you find out what resonates with you. Set your priorities. Prioritize, that's step 2. Prioritize scholarships that align with your interests, goals, and academic profile. I always ask people, what do you really want to do and why do you want to do it? If you can't give me this information, it will be very difficult for me to help you. So I always ask, what do you really want and why are you doing it? You identify scholarships that align with probably your values, your interests, the things you've done before. Your background, the things that you did the arts, the sciences, and so on. It depends on what you did and what you want to do going forward. Then match criteria. Carefully review eligibility requirements such as academic standing, measures, and extracurricular activities. They will ask you. Some scholarships have GPAs. Like somebody wrote to me from Yaoundé in Cameroon. He said, my GPA is not up to 3. Can I? There are scholarships, even in the United Kingdom, that they take a GPA of 2.1. Then I spoke to somebody who has a GPA of 3.4. I'm like, oh my God, please just bring your documents because you are a good candidate for so many scholarship opportunities. So you look at that. Every scholarship has its specificities. There is one no one particular thing that is fit for all. Every university, every country, different scholarships, they have their specific requirement, and you will need to look at that. The next thing is you understand the application requirements, application timeline, note deadlines, and ensure you have ample time to complete each step. Never write scholarship applications in a rush. Never. You won't make it. Essay prompts. Analyze essay topics to understand what the scholarship committee is looking for. There are some, when you get to some portals, when you open them, they want you to respond to the question before you move to another field. What I usually do is you can just give some very short answers and you keep going so that you know what is in all those fields. When you get to the end, don't submit. Then you come back. Now, at times you can actually do that and you're writing all the questions, because at times in some scholarship application, you will not know all the questions. You won't even know the next question until you answer the previous question. So my advice here to you is you start by giving some short answers so that the next fields open to you and you understand until you get to the end. Please be very intentional about this thing. Get a pen, copy out the question. In the process of copying out the requirement for that particular essay question, you get to understand it better and you start reflecting on how to respond to it. Supporting documents. Gather transcripts, letters of recommendations, and other required material. Take time to make sure you get all of this. There are some scholarships applications that they won't review until they receive the letters of recommendation from your referees. It is not the place of the institution to run after these people. And in some cases, you will not collect it. So all you are doing is you are talking with the person who is supposed to write that letter of recommendation. So immediately you identify an opportunity that makes sense. Make sure that you start talking with your referees, the people who will recommend you, early enough, so that at the time you are submitting your application, they too should be submitting their letters of recommendation and all the other supporting documents. Okay. Now, this is, as they say it somewhere, where rubber meets tar. What they call a personal statement. It's one of those key things. I think a personal statement in most cases accounts for more than 70% of the decision being made by the scholarship committee. About 70%. Because it gives you room to be able to probably make up for things that you didn't do well in school. For instance, your GPA may not be convincing, but maybe after school, your work experience, the things that you've done after, or other programs can make up for that deficiency in your GPA. So it says here, highlight your achievement, showcase your academic excellence, leadership skills, and contribution to your community. Very often I talk to people about volunteering. As I speak with you, I volunteer, even as of today. When I see a cause that makes sense to me, I jump in and I volunteer. There is a program that has been developed at the University of Bamenda, and I see some loopholes in that program, and I'm thinking of volunteering to offer a course to fix it. I am volunteering with the U.S. Department of State here to do certain things. I have just been called up to volunteer with the Tony Elumelu Foundation as a mentor. When you do all these things, which we call contribution to your community, it shows your engagement, it shows your selflessness, it shows your intention for common good. Remember that you are not sponsored for yourself, right? They provide money to support you so that you can be of good to society. So if you don't prove that you are going to be of good to society, who is going to spend his or her money on you? So if it's all about you, I'm sorry. And I always tell people that when you write your essays, the things about you that talk about you, they stand out. Express passion, articulate your enthusiasm for your chosen field and how the scholarship will help you pursue your goals. Demonstrate impact. Explain how you will use the scholarship to make positive impact on the world. This is crucial. And in this, when I say that I'm going to share some of my personal statement, I wrote a personal statement for a very special program, the program, the Inspired Leadership Initiative, in which I have mentored and helped another Cameroonian who had a fully funded scholarship into that program. I'm talking about a program that is one of America's prestigious universities. I wrote a statement of purpose, which if you really want to read it, if you want to read it, you write to me, I will share it with you. When you read it, you will want to see the person. You will want to talk to the person. And when I was going to be interviewed by 3 people after I submitted my application and was accepted. Then I had to go through interviews for final admission. I received 2 interviews and the third one never came. Then they were supposed to interview my referees. One of my senior friends in Cameroon, who was my references, is also a mentor. He's a senior, but he's been very helpful to me. They didn't call him. Then I kept getting worried and I asked him, this thing that these people are not calling you, are you sure things will go well? One day he just called me and laughed, said, those people are not calling me. And let me tell you something. There are some applications that are so compelling that the people take a decision without getting to the end of it. And it turned out to be true. As I'm speaking, I will send this video to him. He told me this and it turned out good. If you develop a compelling statement of purpose, some steps in your admission procedure and scholarship procedure may be skipped. I know what I'm talking about. You know, I have this story about this young man who was to attend an interview. So he knows that to go for an interview, you need to get up in the morning and dress and go early. So this guy did everything and wanted to be in that place before every other person so that, as we usually say, like for me, I joke that if you go for a conference, you go for a workshop very early before they start setting up the stage. At one moment, people will come and think that you are one of the facilitators because before long, you start picking things and helping the people. So this young man got very ready to go for his interview early. In the morning, it was raining. He got on a motorbike. Along the road, the motorbike slippery, they fell. He got muddy. In fact, there's no way he could have carried himself in that state into an interview. He had to go back and changed. He now put on what he had actually planned to put on for that day. He had to put on something different. So this is a man who wanted to be one of the first and the best at the interview. He showed up as one of the last candidates, candidate number 21, because when they came, they registered on the list. So he sat there, and after some time, he wrote a note. He went up to the receptionist, he folded the note and begged the receptionist that I want to give you something to give to the panel, to the interview panel. The receptionist reluctantly received, the way he pleaded and the intentionality with which he handed the note and said, I really need this to happen. I have a reason for it. The lady took the note and went and gave to the panel. And the panel, well, for some reason, they are humans. They decided to open the note. And in the note, the young man has written, do not take any decision before you reach candidate number 21. If you were in that panel, what will you do? I'm sure definitely you want to see that candidate who is number 21. What is happening here is I'm trying to let you know that you need to stand out because the applications are so many. So they want to see candidates who are exceptional. And I can tell you this up to tomorrow. In my life, you will be asking, this is a person who came from nowhere. How come I have worked in the kind of companies that I've worked, including Plan International, Voluntary Service Overseas, Spectrum Cameroon Company? My life, things were not okay for me. My secondary school was Longla Commercial College or Longla Comprehensive College. I didn't intend it, but I love it. That is not where I wanted to go, but that is where I could go. I wish to thank my father and mother that they even made that possible. So what I am saying here, it turned out for me that I prepared just too much for something that if there is a job interview and I have written my application, if you don't want me to get the job, don't shortlist me. Because if you shortlist me, I will get the job. And the secret over preparation. That is what I'm talking to you here about. Prepare above what is expected so that the people will have no other reason but just to take you. But I've told you, if you are very intentional, you send an email to me or you send an SMS, I will share with you 2 of those statements of purpose. I have shared them with a couple of people over time. I tell them, don't copy it word verbatim, look at it and write your own. And of course, most of them have had success. So now you gather, here I want to talk to you about the information you need to gather, right? You gather and organize supplementary materials, transcripts from your school. Ensure your academic records are accurate and up to date. We are too good at making up documents. Some people write to me, say I should give them letters of recommendation. And I'm like, I don't know you. How do I recommend you? Some people go the whole length to write what I should sign and submit. Let me tell you, everything here plays. When all the documents are received by the admission committee, the committee starts going through those documents. And there are places where when some material contradicts the order, your application is kept aside. It is gone. It's out of it. Yes. So I always warn people, be careful who is recommending you. Don't just get excited. In fact, the logical people to do this are who? Seek recommendations from your professors, your mentors, or employers who can speak to your skills and potential. These are the people who can genuinely talk about you. You don't just go to people because you think they have a position somewhere, right? Portfolio and resume showcase your work skills and experiences relevant to the scholarship. I said something, show, don't tell. If you want to present certain things, present in a way that people will understand with example, with specific examples that they can easily understand. Don't start telling people a lot of long stories. No. Give specific examples about what you're saying. I worked here, I achieved this, I did this, I had this experience when I did this. Specific, not too long stories. Okay. Now, let's move to the next part, which is the 4th part. You submit a polished, timely application. When you hear polished, prove it. Carefully check for grammatical errors, typos, and inconsistencies. Many people quickly go and use artificial intelligence to make sure that your essay is polished. In most cases now, they tell you don't. Even if they don't tell you not to, I will tell you don't. Because the moment you use artificial intelligence in writing your application, authenticity and the true you is hidden. Now the application becomes very generic because artificial intelligence can do just anything. So it is no more you talking, it is somebody. And I bet you, I don't know whether you heard this from me. I read through some applications this year, and 30% of them were rejected because the candidates use artificial intelligence, AI. Don't, please. Take the time to read through your application. Be natural. Make the little mistakes, but not too many. Because we know we want to hear your story. When the committee sits, they want to hear you as you are, with your flaws, with your challenges. So when you take AI and it polishes everything, then it is no more you talking. And if the panel has difficulties understanding the specificity or the uniqueness of you, they will drop it. Ensure your application is complete and meets all requirements. Submit early. Submit your application well before the deadline to avoid any technical issues. The issue here is that many people wait until the last days, and during those last days, you may have challenges with internet. You may have challenges, and before you realize your application doesn't go on time, and you miss out on it. I want to give you this key scholarship success. Like I said, this is small class on this. Passion. Be genuine and enthusiastic about your goals. You are listening to this. Can you realize that I am enthusiastic? If you write an application with enthusiasm, when we are reading it, we know. Preparation. Invest time and effort in crafting a strong application. When you are casual with your applications, those applications will end up in casualty. If you are casual, when you are casual with your application, invest time, take time, work on those applications. In fact, I have all kinds of books, I have all kinds of material that when I'm doing work, I put those notes again and again. And I want to say something. Persistence and resilience. Don't give up. Even if you don't win in every scholarship, apply for 10 scholarships. If they give you 2, you will choose the one that is most appropriate. If they give you 1, thank God and move ahead. Don't be discouraged if in your first application you are not accepted. And my good friends, there are a lot of scholarship opportunities around the world. Take advantage of them. And as we round up, I want to say something. And which is this one little thing that I want from you. That you should like this video. You should subscribe to my channel because I will bring to you a lot of good content. I will move further on how to write a personal statement with you in my subsequent video. I'll go through the steps of writing that personal statement and what is involved. Please contact me on WhatsApp and let me share some good things with you that cannot be shared here. That is my phone number. This is my email address. You can also go here to see other videos that I've presented. This is also our website. But above all, share this information with friends and family. Share this in your groups. This will benefit somebody. Probably a child is currently writing an application. Just this material can guide him one thing and he will make it. See you in my next video and have a wonderful time. There is greatness in you.